Greetings, everybody. Thunder here in the desert in the morning, half asleep. I thought I'd do a video right before the election, the erection here. Uh, Basically, I've been out being a rascal, driving around on my Harley, hitting some bars, flirting with the girls, having fun, drinking a little beer. Well, maybe more than a little beer. Anyway, haven't done a video in a while, so now that I've landed here temporarily, I thought I would, since it's right before the election, make some comments about it. From everything that I can see, it's anybody's guess as to what's going to happen. And here's why. Because Trump is by far ahead, not in the polls that they show on the main scum media, but the real polls, he's probably about 25% ahead. And here's why. Because every time he goes out on, or did go out on a speech tour, the people that came to see him were in like the 20,000 range. Hillary, she couldn't get more than 1,000, and she quit early. And but irregardless of that, they still will cook the books. Okay. They still are trying to make it in their phony polls look like it's a neck and neck race. Well, the reason they're going to do that, the reason they're doing that, is because when they steal the election and it is fixed, if everything else is fixed around her, why wouldn't they try to fix that? They will. Okay. I see it going, if they can't fix it, it could be a landslide for Trump. I definitely don't want to see Hillary get in. She's a nutcase. She's psycho. She's an insider. She's in leagues with everything that is corrupt, evil, mean, all that good shit. Okay, she's a disaster. Okay, and if I was going to vote for anybody, which I don't vote, I would vote for Trump, simply because he's a businessman, and all the shit that they brought up about him is insignificant, really insignificant bullshit. Compared to Hillary's crimes and felonies and murderous activity, and her attitude towards Russia, and her attitude about using nuclear weapons, we're in deep shit if she gets in. Might not be noticeable right away, but mark my words. So anyway, when you're out having fun and riding around on your bike, most people aren't even really talking about this. The people up here in the mountains, at the saloon, it's almost something like they don't want to talk about. It's so horrific. Okay. So we'll see what happens, but my prediction is that if she gets in, there's going to be mass confusion for a while, because all these disenfranchised voters that know that they went in and voted for Trump, and it looks like a squeaker or something like that. Here's what could happen: people might wake up. I mean, if Trump loses, people might wake up and go, "Oh fuck, man! Wait a minute, there's something wrong here." And it is easy to steal an election. Okay, it's easy to fix an election. It's just a matter of are they going to be afraid to fix it because they'll think that people will really see that they fixed it, or are they going to take a chance and just snow everybody like they always do? Uh, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It's going to be real interesting. Um, in a way, Thunder doesn't give a shit how it goes, because whatever the case, it's not going to be pretty picture. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be because if Trump gets in and they don't want him to get in, they'll pull some kind of false flag or event, or they could even bump him off. I think I saw a video. I guess it was real. I mean, I saw a video yesterday where they had to. Trump was giving a speech, and they had to the Secret Service had to come up and rush him off the stage, and then they jumped down into the crowd and supposedly subdued somebody that supposedly had a weapon. I don't know. I didn't hear about. I mean, I saw a video. I don't know if that's true, but it looked like it was true. In which case, if that happened, the reason that happened is because they're already trying to put fear into Trump. Could have been a whole set-up deal. You don't know. Could have been a plant, a shill out in the audience that was actually with the FBI or CIA or Secret Service, and they made it look like he was going to get shot or something. Just to put the fear of God in him, and let him know that he's on notice, that if he gets in, he better toe the line. See, it's anybody's guess as to what's going to happen. But we all know that it's a corrupt, evil mess. Okay, it's a corrupt, evil mess. And everything is evident to me that we're on some kind of a juncture here, okay? Because we're already in a police state, okay? Just the incidents at the Dakota pipeline, and some of the incidents going on around the world and in this country shows me that we're definitely in a militarized zone. The police here are militarized, and any kind of concept of freedom that you might have, or illusion of freedom, is just that. It's an illusion. Just because it's not affecting you immediately, okay. There's plenty of people that are being affected immediately by it. Like protesters, people on the front lines, let's say, at the protest in the Dakota pipeline incident. It's pretty much a police state, people. And where it goes from here is unclear. Again, there's been all kinds of talk, okay, and speculation about what's going on with the financial system, and the coinciding of that with the increase of tensions in the war arena. So it's anybody's guess, It's really, really going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But I'll tell you one thing right now: you better be ready for anything. You better be ready for massive either revolution or revolution in thought, which in a way would kind of be refreshing, as opposed to the status quo of people sitting around with their thumbs up their ass, not paying attention. Something has to bring enough intensity to the situation for people to either wake up and pay attention or take some kind of action, in whatever way they feel is best for them to take action. It's I do feel some kind of something in the air, though, that something might happen here, either shortly after the election or during the election, or both. Okay, and so don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if something arises that is totally outside the realm of comprehension. Um, Either way, like I say, it's a corrupt system, um, and either way it goes, something is going to play out. Okay. It's either going to be, well, if Hillary gets in, I mean, it could be World War III. It probably, I mean, there's a 99% chance that she's going to do something radical with in the arena in the Middle East with the war situation, because she's been noted to say that she doesn't have any qualms about using nukes, and she said things like they should shoot Russia's airplanes out of the sky, and stuff that's just totally off the freaking deep end. On the other hand, Putin is watching all this stuff. It has come out that all this bullshit about Putin did this and Putin did that is dubious, to say the least. That is in any way correct. It just amazes me that all these emails and all the corruption and everything you see. I mean, let's put this in perspective, okay? Let's say you and I were running for president, and all of a sudden the FBI was investigating us for multiple felony charges. Shouldn't that right there eliminate anybody just being under investigation? Let's think about this. I mean, just being under investigation, shouldn't that eliminate you from even running for president, even being a candidate for president, because of there being doubt before the fact? You don't get investigated for felonies unless there's some kind of trail that's leading you there, okay? Now, the FBI has investigated Hillary twice and dropped the charges twice, or said that we're not going to file anything. And it's been dicey back and forth. You know what I've been saying here is that I think that when the FBI came up with that second thing where we're looking into this again, and some of the media started going a little bit softer on Trump, it looks to me like they were kind of running scared, at least for a while, like that they're in a state of confusion as regards to who's going to get in. Excuse me. They might be in some kind of doubt or some kind of confusion as to who's going to get in. And so they're thinking, well, if Trump gets in, he already said he was going to prosecute Hillary. And if he prosecutes Hillary, that means that the FBI's pronouncement that she was innocent might be into question. In fact, the whole FBI authority from the top on down might be into question if Trump gets in. So they might be running a little scared, okay, because I see a vacillation back and forth here with the FBI saying, oh, we're going to look into it, oh, we're not going to look into it, oh, there might be charges, oh, no, there's not going to be charges. Is that some kind of ploy? Is that some kind of plot to, like, at the last minute try to give her a boost by again saying, oh, there's no charges? Or, you don't know. These people, the way they think, okay, seems confusing to me. I mean, it seems like what I said before is that there might be some kind of coup, soft coup or hard coup or whatever going on in the government behind the scenes, and people not knowing whether they really got full control over putting their puppet in the White House. Okay. And there's all kinds of outside things that have been run by us on all kinds of levels. From my intel, it's massive chaos is what it is right now. It's a massive chaotic thinking and confusion, and this is probably planned. It's probably planned because order through chaos is their one of their mantras. Okay, order through chaos, and that's been done in a lot of psychological operations, unconventional warfare operations. That's how they work. It's keep everybody confused. When I look at this whole election process, the whole thing could be a distraction. It could be a psyops operation to keep us thinking about things that are totally irrelevant or we don't really have any control over. Like, we don't really have any control over the election process. I don't think. It'll really surprise me if I see indications that there is some type of control. There's such masters at manipulating things that, they want to make you think you're in control, like with the voting process, but then they can just slyly come in there and fuck things up. Take over, fix machines. I mean, there's so much shit going on. What about the fact that there's all kinds of court, all kinds of last minute maneuvers with the court system trying to stop certain voters from hanging around the polls, and they're talking about Trump's people could get violent and they don't want people hanging around. And then you hear about incidents down in Texas where somebody pushed, on the early voting, somebody pushed a Trump button and a Hillary showed up on the ballot. How many people punched that button without knowing it, without noticing it, before somebody said, hey, wait a minute here, there's something wrong. There's a lot of shit surrounding this whole thing right now. It is like a virtual shitstorm, okay? And I don't see it getting any better. And the reason that I don't is, again, and here's another factor, if Hillary wins, these disenfranchised voters that I talked about before, that all voted for Trump, there could be a revolution. Okay, I mean, there might be, because it might not happen overnight, but as it sinks in, These people are going to put two and two together if Hillary wins through manipulation, because you got all those Bernie Sanders voters, Bernie Sanders, who they called a doofus, by the way, came out in emails, uh, that got disenfranchised or got, as some people would put it, got punked out. Okay, got fucked over. Okay, half the Democratic election process of voters that voted for Bernie. Uh, Bernie, the one who caved in. Okay, Bernie, the one who sold out and didn't put up a fight at all. Didn't challenge the fact that the whole thing was fixed against him. Um, so you got those voters, and you got the people voting for Trump that have just had it up to here, okay, with the way things are going, with their perception of the fact that there's thousands and thousands of refugees coming in here, illegal aliens, refugees from Syria. Uh, that's scaring the bejesus out of everybody here. A lot of people, a lot of right-leaning people. I got a neighbor that's he admits to being a dyed-in-the-wool conservative. Okay, but on the other hand, he's scratching his head, and along with a lot of other people out here, mostly the people out here in Sandy Valley, Nevada, um, hate Hillary. Okay, and they're pro-Trump, and they're pro-guns, and they're pro. A lot of them are of a conservative bent, but yet they're scratching their head, okay, and they're trying to figure out, well, how the fuck did why did the Republican Party basically abandon Trump? Have you ever heard of anything like that before? Because these people out here that are conservatives are really scratching their head and going, what is going on here? Why aren't they backing their own candidate? So has the elite, have the deep state, have the Hillary cohorts infiltrated so deeply that they're even into the other party and manipulating that party to where really there is no two-party system? It's just basically an illusion. So when I say that there's people out here that are conservatives that are scratching their head and kind of pissed off, that's what I'm saying could cause the civil unrest. That's what I'm saying could cause, if Hillary wins, and it looks like it in any way, shape, or form that it could be fixed, that's what I'm saying, is that those people could flip. They could flip out, okay, and cause a whole lot of freaking trouble, okay? Because people have had it with so-called quote-unquote foreigners coming in here, illegals and that type thing. They see it as putting a tax on the system. They see it as, because they're uninformed, they see it as possible terrorists coming in with the Syrian refugees. What they don't know is that all the terrorists are actually created by our government. And if any supposed quote-unquote terrorists arrive, it's because they were ushered in, probably on an aircraft or directly from the Middle East, or even formed here as a cell by our own government to wreak havoc on people or to cause an incident, which they then can say, well, it was, I guess they came in with the Syrian refugees, and I guess we should have vetted them more, but really it doesn't have anything to do with the Syrian refugees coming in. If they want terrorists in here they'll manufacture them. They'll manufacture them. Jesus, we got enough terrorists here anyway, just with our own fucking police forces. I mean, when you see what they did to the people at the Dakota protest, and I've heard horrific stories, lots of women being stripped down, strip searched in public in front of other people, people being put in little small cages, waterboarding. So, I mean, people, have a lot of fun. That's what that's what Thunder's doing. Have a lot of fun. Have as much fun as you can. Enjoy life. Go out. Do your thing, baby. Do like Thunder does. Just go out, have a good time. Enjoy life as much as you can, because it's just going to get more and more anal and more restricted and more tighter controls on everything. Everything is set in place right now for complete control of the masses of humanity in this country. Complete control. I mean, yeah, we're already completely controlled. I mean, massively intense complete control. Our only hope is that the 300 million people out there, a lot of them who have guns, I mean, there's so many millions of guns out there, that's the only hope that this society doesn't go the way of Nazi Germany. They haven't disarmed us. Okay. It's really going to be interesting, people, to see what happens here, to see what the final little spark is going to be, to set off the powder keg of disenfranchised people, people that are feeling like they're losing control of their livelihood. They're not making enough money. They're having to work 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet. And the powers to be just keep sucking and sucking and sucking these people dry, like vampires. So it'll be real interesting to see what's coming down here. All I can say is it's not going to get any better. Okay? That's one thing for sure. We don't know how it's going to play out, but it's not going to get any better. It's going to get exponentially worse no matter, there's no win-win situation with this. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. There's no feel-good situation with this, because the scenario has gotten to be so intense as to wanting to control and having this underlying coup or takeover within our own government behind the scenes, that there's no win-win situation here. Even if, let's say, the lesser of the evils, and that would be Trump, even if Trump gets in, and I'm not saying he's really evil either. I mean, when I look at some of the stuff he's done, as a businessman, it would be much better to have a person that is, if at all possible, not controlled by the deep state. But see, we don't know that either, because Trump could be a complete plant. See, that's how deep this shit goes, is that you don't know, okay? You don't know if it's just a bunch of puppets being manipulated to keep you distracted while they do their evil machinations and their plans and their agendas behind the scene. Let's keep all the people focused on just exactly what I'm talking about right now. So that's why I say you gotta view this with a grain of salt, okay, and try to keep a clear, lucid head about it, but not get so stressed out that by getting involved in the chaotic energy surrounding it. You don't want to let them put you off balance, okay? And these people that are all like taking sides. I mean, I can sit here and talk about lesser of two evils, but I'm not taking sides. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the big picture. And the big picture is that don't matter what happens. Okay, it doesn't matter what happens with this election. Because in the scheme of things, if you look at what's going on around the world and the chaos and the criminality and the lack of soul and the lack of love, um, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, the darkness. And when you look at how people are being treated here in America, the indigenous people still, and other people, and all kinds of people suffering, um, it makes you see that the election is really uh, almost a pimple on your fucking ass. Okay, I mean it's nothing really in compared to the fact that you could walk off the plank and go down the tubes any minute. Okay. Um, so it's important to keep that bigger perspective in mind. Okay, as you go through this process. Okay, I can't impress upon you enough the fact that it's all a shell and pea game. It's all look over here while we do this over there type thing. It's all a distraction. It's all planned out, but sometimes their plans don't go too well. Okay, and then they have to go from plan A to plan B. You know, and I think right now that they're kind of in between. They're trying to decide whether they want to go with Plan A and Plan B or Plan C in a lot of areas. Okay, not only here in the home front but overseas, and I think that all depends on what they see, how they see people are going to react to a certain situation that they set up. Are the people going to react violently? Are the people going to be docile? Are they just going to take it in the ass like they always do? That's what they're looking at, and I think that that's why it seems like it's so fluid and chaotic, which it is, because they have this plan A and plan B and plan C that they're going to go to, depending on the situation at the moment. So we'll see how it plays out, people. I wish the best for everybody as far as it being less intense than it could be. It could either be mass rioting or a huge event or mass chaos surrounding the election, or uh, it wouldn't surprise me a bit either if The elections come and go, and everybody just bites, everybody just bites the bullet, or everybody just naively goes off into, okay, that's who our president is, and whatever. Um, but maybe I'll do a video after the election. We'll see. Maybe the internet won't even be up after the election. I don't know. One thing I have learned is that a lot of people try to make things more extreme and intense. And that's something you got to keep an eye on too, because that has to do with creating fear, okay, in people. And above all, what you want to do is avoid fear about this whole thing. It's better just to sit back and just talk about it like I'm talking right now, like I'm having a cup of coffee with you, and you're sitting across the table and we're just discussing things. It's always good to discuss things so that you're not like a deer in the headlights and you just get blindsided. At least you can prepare on some level, even if it's spiritually, so that you can see options that you might have or whatever. One of the options that you should be taking advantage is connecting with spirit, okay, and connecting with your God self, because there's a lot of power in those of us who have that ability to do that. God realized, okay, so when you're that way, then you realize that a lot of this stuff is meaningless, and you don't give so much power to it, and you also might give more power to yourself to be able to help control outcomes on a high spiritual level. Anyway, I think I'll just leave it there today with those thoughts. Just thunder rattling off here, flapping his jaws again, but hey, every once in a while I have to check in and say hi to all the people out there. All right, I'll leave it there. I'm out of here. This is Thunder Adios.